Out behind a nigga you don't even know. Bitch, you ain't even take no flowers to this man grave. I guarantee you ain't take not one flower to this man grave. And you dicked out like that, man. I ain't even got nothing to do with the situation, man. Stop playing with me, son. I don't want no problem with you, nigga.
Now, what's probably the biggest feature you had to turn down, man? I know there probably was some features of someone like, yo, I want to get you on this record. What's one of the biggest features you had to turn down?
Like, for like 75,000, something like that. And that's only because, like, I'm cool with a person, that person is beefing with.
Man, Lil Baby's catching serious heat right now, and things are looking rough. People online are saying he straight up ditched Lil Durk's side just to start getting close again with NBA YoungBoy like nothing ever happened. The streets are loud about it. Everyone's calling out how quick Baby switched the second things got messy for Durk. This ain't just some rap beef. It's a whole conversation about loyalty and who really stands on what. This situation screams betrayal. Some rappers out here flipping faster than a light switch the moment the pressure hits. And when you hear the full story, you'll understand exactly why fans are blasting these so-called industry friendships. Back in the day, before all this chaos, Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy were locked in tight. Like this wasn't no fake collab for clout type of thing. That was real respect between them. From 2018 to 2020, they were running it up together, dropping straight fire that had the whole rap game watching. Songs like One Shot and Cross Me weren't just tracks, they were statements. When Baby and YoungBoy linked up, the energy was wild. You could feel that hunger, that grind, that fire from both sides. They came from similar struggles, both trying to rise up from the bottom.
Now, what's probably the biggest feature you had to turn down, man? I know there probably was some features of someone like, yo, I want to get you on this record. What's one of the biggest features you had to turn down?
Like, for like 75,000, something like that. And that's only because, like, I'm cool with a person that person was beefing with.
Another person.
So then that's like, even though I don't even know him or even know the other person, but I already was kind of cool with him.
Just out of respect.
Yeah, then I ain't want to just be in the middle of, you know what I'm saying? That's the only time I'm turning down the feature.
And turn pain into power through their music. That's what made their bond feel genuine, at least back then. But everything flipped once the street politics started mixing with the industry drama. And from that point on, nothing was the same. That once solid friendship started cracking, slowly but loud enough for everyone to notice. When NBA YoungBoy's crew started clashing with OTF, Lil Baby got stuck right in the middle of that fire. But instead of standing firm or keeping neutral, he slid over to Durk's side, and that move had fans looking at him sideways real quick. This right here shows the dark side of the rap game. It's packed with fake loyalty and hidden agendas. When artists are grinding their way up, they connect through the pain, the hunger, and the hustle. But the second that fame hits, everything shifts. Those same friendships turn into business deals, and it stops being about respect. It's about who's hot, who's got the juice, and who's worth standing next to for the cameras. For the public eye, Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy's bond looked real in the beginning, built on respect and shared struggle. But once fame, money, and street politics got in the mix, that brotherhood never stood a chance. What used to be real love for each other's grind turned cold. Just another story of how the industry changes people when success starts talking louder than loyalty.
Remember when YoungBoy said something about me in his song?
Yes.
I said a line about him.
Right. So you're rap beefing.
I wouldn't take it to a rap beef to where everything is back and forth. We're from different places and different human beings. If we keep going at each other like this, no, it's gonna be people dying.
Now fans are saying Lil Baby is showing his true colors. They're calling him out for switching sides when it benefits him and leaving behind the same people he once called brothers. The streets don't forget moves like that, and this situation is heating up fast. People are waiting to see just how big this one's gonna blow. Back when Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy was still coming up, their loyalty looked unbreakable. Both were chasing the same dream, wrestling the same demons, and fighting through the same kind of struggle. But once fame stepped in, everything changed. Now it's all about business, who you stand next to, who you protect, and how you make sure you're on the winning team. That's when the masks drop and the fake loyalty starts to show for real. It's like Lil Baby convinced himself that siding with Lil Durk instead of YoungBoy was just a smart business move. Maybe he told himself OTF was the stronger camp. Or maybe he thought sticking with Durk would keep his image clean. Some even say he believed YoungBoy wouldn't make it through that beef.
I talked to the young boys, I'm like, yo, so what's up with them? He's oh, no, homie, those are ops, right? And I'm like, so what happened? He's like, nah. What it means is he don't even know.
He don't know why they beefing.
No, he don't even know, but he know those is not cool. That's his information that he received. That's the way he feel about it. And it's real to him because they gonna act off it. When you see like NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk, and they got extreme going on. But when it happens, NBA YoungBoy will be away. So Durk has an extreme advantage because he's actually out and meeting people. You still gotta be conscious of the street because street, you can just be oblivious to it in the streets. I'll catch up with you and eat you like breakfast, man. Like, it is what it is. Nah, that's like when you reach out to Drake, and they go, nah, I fuck Durk. You know, NBA YoungBoy wanted to do something to that nigga. You said what? He said, I wish that nigga would've said something in my face.
Whatever excuse he had, one thing is clear. When YoungBoy needed a real friend the most, Baby turned his back on him. And that's where the whole story hits its breaking point. The King Von situation, yeah, that night, changed everything. November 6th, 2020, Atlanta. Chaos outside a club called Monaco Hookah Lounge. King Von, one of the most promising young stars in the game, got caught in a heated fight with Quando Rondo. In the middle of all that madness, Quando's close homie Lil Tim pulled out a gun. Shots went off, and Von didn't make it. That tragic moment didn't just take a life, it split the entire hip-hop world in two. King Von wasn't just any rapper, he was Lil Durk's brother in spirit, his right-hand soldier, and the heartbeat of OTF. His laws hit the streets like an earthquake. After that night, every artist connected to either camp had to make a choice. No more fence sitting, no more pretending to be cool with both sides. After that tragic night, NBA YoungBoy and his crew, including Quando Rondo, were suddenly locked in a life or death feud with OTF. This wasn't about who dropped the hottest verse or who had the bigger hit anymore. This was about revenge, loyalty, and survival. The tension was so thick, the whole industry could feel it. Friends stopped talking, collaborations vanished overnight, and clear lines got drawn deep in the dirt. And that's when Lil Baby showed exactly where his loyalty stood, and it definitely wasn't with YoungBoy. Instead of holding it down for his old friend, Lil Baby stuck close to Durk in the OTF camp. He could have stayed neutral, kept it professional, and avoided all that street drama, but he didn't. He could have shown quiet support for both sides, but again, he didn't. He made it loud and clear, publicly and proudly, that he'd picked his side. During one of his interviews, Lil Baby even said, "I don't care about rap beef, but if somebody ends, I'm gonna pick a side."
And I ain't into like two rappers beefing. Like, don't mix me with it.
Why?
If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. For real. If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. Other than that, don't mix me with that. I seen the outcomes of that. Like, I ain't with that. Hell.
That one sentence hit heavy. To the streets, that didn't sound like loyalty. That sounded like betrayal dressed up as strategy. That was the moment fans realized something major about the industry. Loyalty here doesn't run deep, it runs convenient. The same people who used to share studios and stage time together were now acting like strangers. YoungBoy wasn't even there the night King Von was shot. He didn't pull a trigger, and he wasn't directly tied to what went down. But still, Lil Baby turned his back on him like YoungBoy was the one who caused it all. That's not loyalty. That's fear mixed with strategy, plain and simple. When you really break it down, Baby's move showed exactly how the music industry really works. Instead of standing by someone he once called a friend, Baby chose to roll with whoever had the most power and the biggest spotlight. That's not staying real. That's chasing clout while pretending it's about business. It's not about loyalty anymore. It's about protecting his spot at the top, not the people who helped him climb there in the first place.
Meanwhile, YoungBoy started to see what was happening behind the curtain. The industry was slowly freezing him out. Artists who used to bump his songs and post them up on their pages suddenly went quiet. Collabs stopped coming, features got canceled, and even his old friends were acting brand new, like they didn't even know him anymore. That kind of isolation cuts deep, especially when you're already juggling court cases, street beef, and record label drama all at once.
You get like, and I ain't into like two rappers beefing. Like, I ain't into that. Like, I ain't like, don't mix me with it. Like,
why?
If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. For real. If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. Other than that, don't mix me with that shit.
That makes sense.
For real. I get it.
You could feel the weight pressing down on him, pushing him into a darker space. It started feeling like it was him versus everybody. Only someone who's truly been betrayed could pour out emotion like that. YoungBoy wasn't just making songs anymore. He was spilling his soul through the mic. It was like the industry tried to erase him, but he refused to fade away. Imagine being one of the biggest names in the rap game and still feeling like everybody's plotting against you. That kind of pressure will mess with your head fast. The paranoia, the depression, the fake smiles, it's enough to make anyone stop trusting people completely. But instead of letting it break him, YoungBoy flipped the whole script. He took that pain, that anger, and turned it into raw energy. He started calling the industry out by name, exposing fake love, and pointing fingers at every person who switched sides the moment things got risky. That pain turned into power, and that's exactly why his fan base never folded. They could feel his pain because it was real, not some made-up drama for clicks. You could hear every scar, every betrayal, every emotion coming straight from his chest. It wasn't about clout, it was about survival. Then came the explosion, the I Hate YoungBoy track. That wasn't just a diss record, it was a full-blown declaration of war. He didn't just go at Lil Durk, he fired shots at everyone who had tried to blacklist him, including Lil Baby himself. It was like he took every ounce of betrayal, every fake handshake, and every closed industry door and turned it into one of the hardest tracks the streets had heard in years. He went all in, calling out the fake loyalty, the phony alliances, and the way people switched up the second they stopped getting something out of him. You could feel the bitterness in his tone, but there was also freedom there, like he was finally done playing the industry's game. It wasn't about chart numbers or awards anymore, it was about clearing his name and proving that he's not the kind of man to bow down just to fit in. That track turned into more than a diss. It became a message, a warning to every artist who thinks fame equals loyalty. YoungBoy made it clear that even when the industry turns its back, real fans, real pain, and real emotion will always speak louder than fake alliances ever could. The mindset behind I Hate YoungBoy ran deep. It wasn't just another diss record, it was therapy through chaos. YoungBoy basically said, if y'all want to turn on me, then I'm calling every single one of y'all out. No filters, no holding back, no fake apologies. Instead of trying to patch things up or smile for the cameras, he chose to go to war, publicly, unapologetically, and with full force. That kind of raw energy is exactly what separates him from everyone else in the game. It wasn't about making peace or friends anymore. It was about standing tall on truth and letting the world know he wouldn't be silenced. Every bar from YoungBoy dripped with pure frustration. Every line shot at the pain of being left behind by people he once trusted. That track wasn't just about anger. It was about survival in the industry that loves you while you on top, but forgets your name the second the spotlight fades. You could hear the betrayal, the exhaustion, and the fight to stay standing in a world that turns on you fast. Then, just when the music world thought the smoke was clearing, boom, the streets started buzzing again, this time with whispers of revenge. By August 2022, chaos came roaring back and things turned deadly serious. Reports broke that Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pop, had been shot and killed in Los Angeles, and instantly, all eyes locked on the Lil Durk and the OTF camp. The streets started talking heavy, claiming this was payback for what happened to King Von. The whispers was wild, rumors saying this was revenge, a response straight from the heart of OTF. According to sources close to law enforcement, the word on the block was that Durk had allegedly been tied to an organized retaliation plot aimed at Quando Rondo himself, but the hit didn't land as planned. Lil Pop was the one caught in the crossfire instead. This wasn't no random drive-by. It sounded calculated, planned down to the smallest detail, the type of move that screams revenge mission. And that's what had everyone shook. This wasn't about music no more. It had gone way past diss tracks and social media shots. This was about blood, loyalty, and vengeance. When King Von lost his life, OTF didn't just lose a rapper. They lost family, heart, and soul. What makes this whole story even darker is how far the alleged payback really went. It didn't just stay on street corners, it spread across states, with planning, coordination, and money trails so deep that they caught the attention of federal investigators almost instantly. And here's where everything started spiraling downhill for Lil Durk. That rumored obsession with revenge might have been the very thing that cost him his freedom. If he had just focused on his career, stayed out of the chaos, and let karma handle things, he might still be walking free. But allegedly, that burning drive to get justice for King Von pushed him way too far. Now that same determination might be the reason he's reportedly staring down a set of serious federal charges that could shut down his career for good. The case building against Durk looks rough. There's no easy way out this time. Authorities aren't treating it like some local neighborhood beef. They're treating it like federal conspiracy, the kind of case where the feds come prepared with wiretaps, bank records, flight logs, and witnesses ready to talk. Rumors say they got recordings, money trails, and insider testimony that allegedly connect Durk and OTF to violent crimes spread across multiple states. If even half of what's being whispered is true, things could get real ugly.
According to insiders, the feds reportedly believe Durk was using his OTF label as a cover for organized criminal activity, allegedly paying off hitters, funding revenge missions, and handling travel setups to make the moves look clean. It's the kind of story you'd expect to see in a crime movie, but this one's playing out for real. They reportedly got everything: paper trails, phone records, text logs, and even people allegedly flipping to save their own skin. When federal prosecutors pull up with evidence that deep, it's not an investigation anymore. It's a straight-up takedown. And the sad truth? If any of this sticks, Lil Durk isn't looking at a short sentence. He's looking at life behind bars. The same loyalty that once made him ride for King Von might now be the very thing that buries him in the system. It's one of those tragic loops the streets never stop teaching. You step into revenge, and there's almost no way to step back out. What makes it even uglier for Durk right now is that he's not facing a state case. He's fighting federal charges. And when the feds come knocking, it's a whole different level of danger. These people don't rush. They move slow, silent, and calculated. Their conviction rate is over 90%, and they don't press charges unless they're nearly certain they've already won. So the very fact that they cuffed Durk, read him those charges, and tossed him into the system says one thing loud and clear: they believe they've got him cornered. The mental weight of going through something like that has to be crushing. Just imagine, it's 1 minute you're performing at sold-out arenas, racking up Grammys, and sitting on millions. Then suddenly, you're in a cell, staring down a possible life sentence. That kind of downfall hits different. It eats at your mind because you start facing the harshest truth of all. You're not locked up because someone set you up. You're there because of your own choices. That realization cuts deep. That's the kind of guilt that can break even the strongest soul in half. And here's where things turn ice cold. The so-called friends start disappearing. All that brotherhood for life talk going in a heartbeat. The same rappers who used to scream OTF forever and clown NBA YoungBoy online are now quietly unlocking Durk's photos and sliding into YoungBoy's comments section, liking his new posts instead. It's wild how quick loyalty flips the second the spotlight fades. Now that Durk's future looks dark, everyone's switching up. The same people who once dissed YoungBoy to defend Durk are now back on YoungBoy's page, acting like they never picked sides. They're smiling, showing fake love, and pretending like nothing ever happened. That's not loyalty, that's opportunism. It's crazy how fast the game changes once the cameras stop flashing. When you're up, everybody's around. But when the power's gone, silence. The loyalty evaporates like smoke. And sitting right at the center of all this messy back and forth drama, once again, is Lil Baby. His moves are the perfect example of how fake this industry loyalty can get. When Durk was free, untouchable, and running the charts, Baby was right there next to him, performing together, snapping photos, and making it crystal clear which camp he was riding with. But now that the pressure's on, Lil Baby's moves are starting to look real shaky. Fans caught it first, those quiet but suspicious changes on Instagram. The same dude who once said he'll pick a side if somebody ends is suddenly out here liking YoungBoy's posts again. And not just one or two. He's dropping likes back to back like all that beef and tension never even existed. And let's be clear, those likes ain't random. In the music world, social media is its own language. A single like can mean a truce, a message, or even a subtle warning. And right now, Baby's message seems loud and clear. Yo, I'm cool with you again, young boy. Let's let the past be the past. It looks like a desperate attempt to make peace, and the timing couldn't be more telling. With Dirk reportedly sitting behind bars and YoungBoy gaining more freedom, control, and influence than ever before, Baby's trying to slide back into good graces before it's too late. But fans aren't blind. They see everything. The blogs are talking, the streets are watching, and even other rappers are side-eyeing how fast he's switching up now that the tables have turned. That's the sad truth about the rap game. Loyalty only lasts as long as success does. When you're winning, everyone's beside you, smiling for the cameras and shouting your name. But the second you fall off or get caught up, they're already plotting their next alliance. They're not real friendships, they're temporary business deals dressed up as brotherhood. Now that the tables have turned and the power in the rap industry has completely shifted, everything about Lil Baby's behavior is being exposed for what it really is. Every single move he makes is being watched, and people are finally realizing his loyalty might not have been real in the first place. If he truly stood on principle, he'd still be holding it down for Lil Durk right now, especially while things are falling apart. But instead, he's out here playing both sides like it's a chess match, trying to keep his hands clean while protecting his image. That's not loyalty, that's strategy. See, real loyalty gets tested when everything collapses. Anybody can ride with you when you're on top, winning awards and stacking millions. But when you're fighting for your freedom, facing courts, and watching the world turn its back on you, that's when true friends show up. The fact that Baby's switching up now says it all about his character. This isn't loyalty, it's self-preservation. He sees Durk's situation growing darker by the day, realizes he might not be coming home soon, and starts shifting his energy toward whoever's next in power, NBA YoungBoy. It's a cold move, but it shows how fame changes everything. In this world, loyalty becomes a strategy, not a value. Baby's just reading the room, calculating his next step like a businessman, not a brother. That's what makes this switch sting so bad. It's not emotional, it's tactical. He's not moving out of love or respect, he's moving out of survival. And here's the craziest part. Lil Baby ain't even the only one doing it.
Now that Durk's facing serious federal heat, the entire industry is showing its true colors. Rappers who used to scream OTF forever and throw shade at YoungBoy are now crawling back, liking his pictures, dropping comments, and pretending the past never happened. The same people who were throwing shots at YoungBoy, the same ones who helped blackball him from the game, are now suddenly out here trying to make peace. That's not loyalty, that's straight up hypocrisy. This whole pattern exposes something dark about how the hip-hop world really works. Loyalty in this game is conditional. Friendships are treated like business contracts, and principles only matter when they don't mess with someone's image or bag. The second the situation stops benefiting their brand, they switch sides without hesitation. These artists don't really care about brotherhood, they care about staying close to whoever's winning. And the wild part? Most of them actually think they're being smart about it. They think backing away from Durk early makes them look strategic, like they're just protecting their careers. They think double-tapping YoungBoy's posts and sending out little peace signals makes them seem mature and unbothered. But nah, it just exposes them even more. Every time they switch up, they show their true colors. Every like, every comment, every quiet move proves their loyalty was never solid. It was for sale from day one. And you can bet YoungBoy is sitting back watching it all unfold with a smirk. He's keeping mental tabs on everybody. Who was real, who was fake, who stood by him when the whole industry turned their back, and who came running back only when it became trendy again. The deeper psychology behind all this fake loyalty runs way deeper than just clout. It's about survival. In a cutthroat industry like rap, everything revolves around networks, alliances, and being seen with the right people. Once an artist hits a certain level of fame, loyalty stops being about friendship. It turns into a business deal with no paperwork attached. Every handshake hides a motive, and every cosign comes with a price tag. When artists are still on the come up, their relationships are real. They're built on hustle, hunger, and mutual grind. They share fans, jump on each other's tracks, and help each other climb because it benefits both sides. But once the fame hits and the money stacks get bigger, everything changes. Those same connections that once felt solid start turning into chess moves. Suddenly, staying relevant matters more than staying real. The fear of losing status, losing followers, or falling off the charts turns people into straight-up opportunists, ready to drop whoever they have to just to protect their own career. That's why fake loyalty runs so deep in hip-hop. It's not about who's right or wrong anymore. It's about who's still standing when the smoke clears. In an industry where fame fades faster than a viral post, most rappers aren't willing to sink with somebody else's ship. They jump before it crashes. And right now, Lil Baby's jump might have just exposed him as one of the biggest opportunists in the game. The rap game was supposed to be built on realness, loyalty, respect, and standing tall no matter what. But the harsh truth is, the industry's version of hip-hop runs on something totally different. Opportunism, image control, and self-preservation. It's not about keeping it 100 anymore. It's about keeping your career safe. That contradiction between the culture and the business is what's poisoning everything. The streets were built on honor, on code, on standing by your word. But the boardrooms, they're built on strategy, branding, and staying marketable. And now we've got artists like Lil Baby making moves that look smart on paper, but come off straight fake to everyone watching. It's a world where loyalty has an expiration date. Once someone stops helping your image or boosting your brand, they become disposable, cut off like dead weight. That's how cold it's gotten. And here's where it gets wild, because from NBA YoungBoy's point of view, everything happening right now must feel like sweet vindication. He's been calling out this fake loyalty for years. He warned everyone about these so-called friends who only ride with you when it's convenient. And now the same people who turned their back on him are crawling back, acting like they were never part of the problem. But the thing about YoungBoy is he never folded. When the industry tried to shut him out, he didn't beg for acceptance or chase peace for PR. When they blackballed him, he stood on business and spoke his truth. He didn't sell out for radio spins or playlists, and he didn't fake smiles for photo ops. He stayed raw, real, and completely unfiltered. And now that those same people who laughed behind his back are suddenly trying to make peace, he's sitting at the top, watching the whole thing unfold. The irony is crazy. He was right the entire time. What they called anger now looks like foresight. The wildest part about all this is how YoungBoy's consistency turned into his greatest weapon. He never chased validation, never begged for approval, and that's exactly what made him untouchable. Now that Lil Durk is dealing with serious legal trouble, and all those people who once turned their back on YoungBoy are crawling back, he's the one holding all the cards. He gets to decide who earns forgiveness and who stays cut off for good. The psychology of being proven right after being wrong runs deep. On one hand, it's satisfying, seeing the same folks who doubted you now forced to face the truth. But on the other hand, it's disappointing, because even when you've been vindicated, you realize just how fake the love around you really was. YoungBoy probably wishes he had been wrong about people like Lil Baby, that maybe they were solid all along, but time keeps proving him right. The industry's behavior is showing him everything he already knew. And this right here is the perfect example of the clash between street code and industry politics. In the streets, loyalty is sacred. It's the code you live by, the foundation of everything. You ride for your people no matter what. You don't switch sides when things get messy. You don't turn on someone just because it might hurt your image.
Real loyalty gets tested in the dark, when nobody's watching, not celebrated under bright lights and red carpets. But in the industry, everything's flipped upside down. Loyalty only lasts as long as it's profitable. The second someone starts losing momentum or catching heat, the same people who were shouting your name yesterday start pulling away to protect their own brand. It's a cold, calculated world now, where friendship gets replaced by PR strategy, and every single move is about optics. People don't decide who to support based on what's right. They decide based on what looks good for their career. And Lil Baby's recent actions are the perfect example of how twisted the system's become. When Lil Durk was on top, dropping hits, signing major deals, and holding real power, Baby was right beside him, repping hard, showing love, and even throwing shade at YoungBoy. But the second things got dark for Durk, Baby started liking YoungBoy's posts again like none of that tension ever existed. Now, he's out here trying to rewrite the story, to realign himself before the next wave hits. That's not street loyalty. That's industry manipulation. It's not about standing beside your brother. It's about protecting the bag. Everything's about money, status, and image now. Loyalty's just a disguise to keep your brand looking clean. The real tragedy in all this is what hip-hop has become. This culture was born from the streets, from pain, struggle, unity, and truth. It came from real voices telling real stories. But the higher hip-hop climbed into the business world, the more those principles got twisted into something almost unrecognizable. Now it's less about who's real and more about who's relevant.
Loyalty turned into a marketing tactic, and authenticity got replaced with convenience. The focus isn't on truth anymore. It's about perception, about keeping up appearances while the foundation crumbles underneath. And the worst part? The fans see it now. They can tell who's moving with heart and who's just chasing clout. The mask is slipping, and it's exposing a whole industry that's forgotten what loyalty even means. The fans see it, the streets see it, everybody sees it. These people have straight up exposed themselves, and now the whole world knows their loyalty is for sale. And when the next power shift hits, they'll sell it again. No hesitation. This new version of hip-hop has made real friendship almost impossible. Every move is strategic, every smile has an agenda, and every bro is just another calculated alliance. Nobody's being real anymore. They're just protecting their image, brand, and business connections. And when everyone's playing defense, something major gets lost. Creativity dies, the music starts sounding hollow, the passion fades, and the culture turns into nothing more than an industry machine running without a heartbeat. Let's keep it real. On paper, Lil Baby probably thinks he's being smart. From a business standpoint, he's looking at the board, playing the long game. If Dirk is facing decades behind bars, staying loyal doesn't make sense financially. And if YoungBoy is still hot, still charting, still moving numbers, then reconnecting might seem like the right move. But here's where that logic backfires. Yeah, it might win them short-term clout, but it costs them long-term respect. Because once people realize your loyalty is just a business decision, they stop believing anything you stand for. They start questioning your integrity, your principles, your whole image. Fans aren't stupid. They feel the energy. They can tell when someone's being genuine and when someone's just chasing convenience to protect their career. By trying too hard to play it safe, Lil Baby might have actually done more damage than good, because in this culture, being fake is one of the biggest sins you can commit. In hip-hop, authenticity is everything. You can lose money, bounce back, lose fans, rebuild, but once people label you fake, that stain never washes off. Artists want to work with people they can trust, and fans respect rappers who keep it real. And the streets never forget who violated the code. That kind of betrayal stays in people's minds forever. So yeah, Baby might think he's protecting his image right now, but really, he's trading long-term respect for short-term survival. Because the truth is, loyalty isn't about what's easy, it's about what's right. When you switch sides for convenience, you're basically telling the world that your word means nothing. And once that reputation spreads, it moves faster than any hit single ever could. This whole saga, from Lil Durk's downfall to NBA YoungBoy's vindication, shows exactly what's wrong with modern hip-hop. The fake loyalty, the industry politics, the it's just business excuses is all slowly choking out the authenticity that once gave this culture its power. Hip-hop used to be about standing on your word, riding with your people, and keeping it 100. It was about truth, unity, and loyalty, not analytics, image management, and social media peace offerings. But somewhere along the line, the meaning got lost. That realness, the heartbeat of hip-hop, might never come back. This new wave of conditional loyalty is slowly draining the soul right out of the culture. It's teaching the next generation of artists all the wrong lessons. The young ones watching this drama unfold aren't learning about brotherhood, unity, or respect anymore. They're learning that loyalty only matters when it's convenient. They're seeing that principles are optional, that switching sides is normal, and that being fake actually pays off if it helps your career. But that's not hip-hop, that's Hollywood with a beat. It's turning something built on pain, power, and truth into a performance filled with fake smiles and brand strategy. And the saddest part, the ones who still move with real morals, the artists like NBA YoungBoy who stand firm on principle no matter what, get labeled as outsiders. They get blackballed, silenced, and pushed away by the very same system that rewards people for switching up. The industry celebrates the manipulators while shutting out the ones who actually stand for something.
Meanwhile, people like Lil Baby, who play both sides whenever it's convenient, keep getting rewarded. Big features, radio spins, brand endorsements, and love from the media like nothing ever happened. It's a backward system, one where staying fake gets you ahead and being real gets you shut out. That's what's killing the culture from the inside out. Hip-hop was built on truth, loyalty, and raw emotion. It came from people telling their stories with no filter, no agenda, and no fear. But now, that energy's fading fast because everyone's too busy protecting their connections instead of their integrity. Here's the final breakdown of the real cost of fake loyalty.
This whole saga between Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy runs way deeper than just two rappers not getting along. It's the perfect example of how fame and industry pressure can twist morals and turn brotherhood into business. Lil Baby and YoungBoy started out with something real: mutual respect, shared hunger, and a bond born from pain and hustle. They weren't just chasing clout. They came from the same struggle, pushing through the same battles, trying to turn pain into progress. But when the drama hit and the pressure got heavy, Baby folded under the weight of industry politics. He didn't just walk away from a friend, he walked away from his authenticity. When it became politically convenient to side with Lil Durk and OTF, Baby jumped ship. He chose power over loyalty and clout over character. And now that the tides have turned again, he's trying to slide back in, make peace with YoungBoy like nothing ever happened. But that's not how loyalty works. You can't switch loyalty on and off like a light whenever it fits your image. Once you break that trust, there's no going back. Real loyalty doesn't come with conditions. You don't ride for someone only when it benefits your brand. You ride because it's real. And once that line is crossed, no apology, no Instagram like, and no peace offering can fix it. YoungBoy is not blind to any of this. He's watching everything play out like a movie. Quietly, strategically, and patiently, he's taking mental notes on every move being made. He sees who was real, who flipped, and who tried to play both sides. He knows which artists stayed silent when things got dark and which ones came crawling back when the power shifted. That kind of betrayal changes a person forever. It doesn't just sting, it hardens you. It makes you second guess everyone around you and forces you to look at every handshake, every smile with suspicion. And that's the real tragedy. Not just the broken friendships, but the loss of trust that can't ever be rebuilt. These moments leave scars that don't fade. They shape how artists move, who they collaborate with, and how they navigate the game for years to come. What makes it worse is that all of this chaos could have been avoided. If people had just stood on their principles from the start, none of this mess would have ever happened. If Lil Baby had stayed neutral instead of picking sides, if other artists had refused to join in on the industry's quiet blackballing, if loyalty mattered more than strategy, this whole fake make-peace storyline wouldn't even exist. But instead, here we are, left with a cautionary tale about what happens when people choose politics over principles. This entire saga, from Lil Durk's downfall to Baby's switch-up to YoungBoy's revenge through success, has become the ultimate reflection of what's broken in modern hip-hop. The fake loyalty, the business-based friendships, the abandonment of real values is all eating away at the culture from the inside out. Now, everyone sees it for what it really is. Every move, every like, every comment, every alliance is all obvious now. This isn't about friendship anymore. It's about power. Lil Baby isn't making peace out of love or brotherhood. He's doing it out of fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of losing his relevance. Fear of ending up on the wrong side of history. And that's the coldest part of all. This whole story stopped being about respect or loyalty a long time ago. What used to be about brotherhood and standing on truth has turned into a survival game where people trade morals for momentum. It's all about career calculations and self-preservation now. Every move Lil Baby's making screams strategy, not loyalty. And that's exactly the kind of fake energy that's been eating away at hip-hop's soul for years. The culture used to be run by real ones, people who stood on principle, who didn't fold when the game got hard. But now, everybody's protecting their brand instead of their brothers. Let's keep it real. Real recognizes real, and fake always gets exposed. No matter how polished the image, no matter how smooth the PR move, the truth always finds its way to the surface. Lil Baby's switch-up isn't just making headlines, it's exposing his character. Fans see it, YoungBoy sees it, and even the same industry that used to hype him up is starting to whisper behind the scenes. The mask is slipping, and people are realizing loyalty might not even be in his DNA. What's in there instead? Self-interest. Right now, the streets are watching every single detail, every like, every comment, every calculated move Baby makes. And while he's trying to play it cool, YoungBoy's sitting back, silent but aware, watching it all unfold, keeping track of who's real and who's fronting. The whole coach is learning from this moment. It's a real-time lesson in what happens when you trade your principles for politics. When you move for power instead of purpose, you lose respect, no matter how many hits you drop. Because loyalty, that's something you can't rent for the moment. It's something you live by for life. And once you break that code, you can't buy it back. No matter how rich or famous you are, the game remembers and the people never forget. So what do you think, fam? Did Lil Baby just end his credibility in the streets for good? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think about this switch up. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered celebrity breakdowns and hip-hop drama. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next, because the next story is even wilder, and you won't believe who's getting exposed next.